Good morning. How we doing? Get comfortable here. Right. Right, how you doing, Enzo? So, theme of the day is improvisation. It's been that cold this morning, I couldn't wear a bright top. Do you think? It's a shot, it's my jacket. So, I haven't got my colourful clothes on today. So I'm just wearing this green top, which unfortunately just like things are quite dark, isn't it? When I wear this. And I quite like the brightness. So yes, I thought we'd do some very loosely, mind, improvisation. What do you think? But where do we go in at? A bit of a recap. Maybe. I've got a cool new lick, which I started showing people yesterday, but then sort of just kind of got distracted. So there's that. And then I did analyse partly a Jack Gardner solo that had sidestepping in it. So there's a Jack Gardner did ages ago a sidestepping tutorial, which is pretty good. And he does his intro solo. So I was having a look at that, sort of things that he did. So from an improvisational point of view, there's probably something else we can do there. I've got another kind of lick, possibly, we can do. I think the thing, what I noticed about what he was doing is he's very strong rhythmically, and he could get away with quite long passages being outside because of the rhythm. And I've heard him do this before where he'll just like literally went, I'll just play like a semitone out of whatever he was doing. And it sounded all right. And it's just purely because like his timing's really, really good. So yeah. But any thoughts on improvisation, Enzo, while I'm having my coffee and thinking? Would be great. So anybody else there? Do say hello. Oh, there's Tyler. All right, Tyler, how you doing? Good to see you on here. Just talking about improvisation. Is Enzo... I was going to mention Jack, but I assume you knew all about... Yes, I mean, like, I know Jack, yes. Yes, I've heard all of Jack's stuff. And he's very good. His playing's very good, but quite accessible. I like his approach. It's very good. All right, Tyler. So, right, I'm great. Just figuring out which angle to come in on at improvisation. So, I just thought we should do something on improvisation. That's the big subject of the day, isn't it? So I've been watching watched a couple of lives this week. Interestingly enough. Now, who did I watch? I was on like a guitar one, but I can't remember the name of it. It was about... What was it about? Oh, I can't remember now, but the other one I did, the Andy Woodshed. I watched that for a bit. I didn't watch it, I listened to it whilst I was in the car. And he had... he was talking about pentatonic scales, and like being able to visualize them. And I think like with pentatonic scales, actually this is a good point to start with, is the thing that I always found, but still find difficult, is the management of the fingerings to a certain degree. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. Still setting up. Oh dear, tired. Literally been up about 20 minutes. I think that's about, I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not. All right. So, like the thing about pentatonic scales is, you need to. Well, the first thing you need to do, right, is obviously you need to know it in every position. Okay. So if I mean, E minor is a good key to work in. So is like A minor. I mean, we'll do all the positions in A minor, and I might move into E. So what I mean by that is you're going to have to be able to play everything. It's basically 2 notes per string in like all of the positions. But there are different finger patterns that you need to use. All right. So one of them, let's have a think of this. So that's like one of them for me. And then the other variation that I'll do on that now, what's important about this is I think this stretch is really important. And I'll come to that in a bit. But there are certain ways you can play the pentatonic, especially if you start stealing stuff from other artists, like, well, fusion artists, then there's a lot of like weird fingerings that you end up in where you're crossing like 2 over 3 and you're having these extra stretches. So you need to bear that in mind. So just practicing your stretch from there and there is a good idea, but we'll just do 1 and 3 here. So 2 different sets of fingerings there, okay? Like normally when I'm playing that, I don't really bother with that much. But again, that 1 3 1 3 is really useful. I think in the real world I'll do this. So that's just your basic root position pentatonic. So again, same deal there, you know, you just doing that, using 1 3. I wonder why this is all big. Right, okay. There you go. Dorito, how you doing? So yeah, we're just using 1 3 1 3. And then doing a version where we're using 1 4. All right, and then you just keep going like that. Always a bit strange that position because you got that little position, 2 position shifts. Oops. And then we're back to 5. So, like 2 notes per string, we've got like 2 kind of different patterns. Okay, well, not 2 different patterns, but two different types of fingering. Now, if there's any questions you've got, I don't mind being thrown off topic. I'm just going from the very beginning of sort of like fingerings and stuff like that. Because I found it quite confusing at times. Oh, sorry. That's my dyslexia. My name's pronounced Doroteo. Right. It's a dyslexia. Sorry. Doroteo. Anyway, yes, Doroteo. I hope I said it right now. All right. So that's one set of fingerings, okay? But then, you can start getting into bits of 3 notes per string kind of things, So the problem is like, okay, how... Because, all of this, you're going horizontally across the neck, aren't you? Vertically, I should say. And then, you want to be thinking about going, like, in other directions. And I suppose this ties in with the transition sort of thing. So, like having a look at things where... like little pentatonic things like that. So we've got a 3-note one here, which is quite a nice place to start. It's about the lowest point. We can go fretted. So what we've got here is an A minor pentatonic. We're starting to do 3 notes. So the first 2 strings is just the same picking. And then we jump, so we've got 1, 2, 4, and then we're jumping up to the 5th and we're going 1, 2, 4. And then we're jumping up another 5th. And we've got 1, 3, 4. And then we've got 1, 3, 4 again. So that's quite easy to remember there. Then the next bit's a little bit tricky because then we've got like this massive jump. So on the 9th fret, we're going 1, 3, 4, and then this first finger has to jump over to the 13th fret. And that's 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 4. Just so the fingerings match, really. Or you could go 1, 3, 4. Again, you would practice either of those. Naturally, I do 1, 3, 4. So 2 areas you'd really want to practice there are this jump. Oops. It's really hard. So the cool thing about learning something like this, going like horizontally across the fretboard, is there's lots of like different positions we can jump off and improvise in, yeah? What you solo with mode? Do you emphasize the 3rd, 5th, 7th notes to sound more melodic? I like minor modes best, especially for... Yeah, I mean, I do like I really like Aeolian, even though it's got that avoid note, but I'll come in on that in a minute. So actually, I'll just answer that now. I think the way that I think about it is, I like the idea of each note like having different tension and release. So like a root note is just like the root, you know, it's just it's like water, doesn't it? It's always going to sound grounded, and it's always going to sound like you're at home, okay? But nothing amazingly challenging there. But as we go up the scale, we'll have the third, and like the third, as you say, is like quite a melodic note, okay? So you're going to sound quite in there. The fourth, however, gives you a lot of tension. So like when you're playing a phrase, if I'm doing something that's going to like basically start and end on a fourth, your ear knows that it's not incomplete. It's like the most incomplete sound in the pentatonic. So it's, you're wanting to go, now we're complete. So yes, that's a good point. There's like lots of different tensions. Like 5 is like the root. So your ear will want to, again, it sounds quite natural, but there'll be like slightly less tension and it's easier to resolve. So that fourth's like really like jarring, isn't it? So you can hear the different tensions as I go through them, like how they resolve. Sevenths is good, isn't it? All right. So yes, different tensions, and I suppose, I mean, that's how I interpret them. We might interpret things differently, in a way. So I don't know. What do you think of that? That's just my little bit, but yeah, thirds, fifths. You know, you're gonna sound sevenths. It's gonna sound nice and melodic. And then, of course, like, you know, going from that is, you know, you're thinking about arpeggios at that point, aren't you? So, like, I will go, we'll come to that later because I've kind of crossed on this before. Using, like, arpeggios that basically have notes in common is quite a handy thing to do. Right, there's Josh. Hi, Josh. When is it practical? Could you name the modes or ARP keys? I know. When is practical? Could you name the mode or arpeggio key? I know the 1, 1, 3, 1, 4. I understand the double at the time called out the divisions. If it's not too hairy, sorry. Right, so you want to think in modes, right? We can do. But, yeah, I mean, I can do that. So when I come across a shape, give you the mode. I think that's what you're saying. So yes, what's up, dudes? What's up, Tyler? Howdy. Hey, Josh. Oh, and anybody who's new on here, do subscribe to the channel. It's slowing down with my subscribers. I like to play diatonic scales, 3 notes per string, but skip the middle note. Middle note. Okay. I think it's important to do both, though, because there's different phrases and you get out like 2 note pentatonics. Don't mess with Texas. There we go. Middle note. Okay then. Right. So yeah. So as just going back over it, and I know you probably know this, but it's just important, I think, to do those different fingerings. Okay, because you need to be able to be very versatile. So the next thing, 3 notes per string. So we've got our big. Big sort of arpeggio. Okay. Yeah, do them all. Do them all. So, I think the next thing, all right, is for me, is then when I start adding in like other notes to this. So you've got your basic pentatonic sort of framework. I'll move into E minor now. So I always like, obviously we've got our blues note. Which is dead handy, isn't it? Need to warm that picking hand up. Come on, loosen up. No, you're not a bother, Enzo. At all. So, on our recap. So, flat 5's great. But also, my favourite, the 9th. So we start getting into hexatonic scales, and the cool thing about that is when you think about it, pentatonic's 5 notes. We'll add this one extra note, which is this F sharp. So I just think of it, I think it's easier to think of it as 2 separate things rather than one scale that you've modified. So rather than thinking of it like something like that, sorry, it would be like this. Rather than thinking of it like that, I like to think of that just one note as an addition to it. So there I'm on the 9th. So it's a really nice sort of note to sort of add in there. So, and now we have the 9th note, very handy. So there's a little lick that I'll play like in solos. So I'll show you that. Like all I'm doing there is E minor. And I'm starting on the 9th, so it's like 9 to the minor 3rd. So we're going 1, 2, 4, and then I'm rolling with my first finger to that D note, and that's a hybrid. And then I just phrase down a pentatonic scale. Oh, sorry, sliding up to the 9th. So things that you might want to have, like the expanded hand positions that I was talking about, as if you did something like this. Like if we did like a little arpeggio thing, yeah. Which is pentatonic scale there. So all I'm doing there is don't know why I'm getting bots on here. Okay. Yeah. So you go all the way down to that point, and then there's this little arpeggio, which is like a pentatonic thing. So we've got B, D, so that's 1/4, big stretch, and it's just repeating every octave. And then you can finish off however you want. So I quite like that sort of sound. Now, I mean, I'm doing quite a lot of... I go through phases with this. I'm doing quite a lot of hybrid picking. So, but you could just do it as a sweep. If you wanted. I like having that one extra pick removed from it. Okay. Yeah, it really helps, even though it's not hard when you're throwing out a lot at once. That did. The little ditty you just called out there helped me grab it greatly, much faster. Okay. Do you think I need to slow down, Enzo? Because I tend to throw, like, if I'm going too fast for anybody, just... If I'm going... Hold on, where am I? If I'm going too fast, just say... what am I... I'm not 100% sure what you mean there, Enzo. Hi, Texas Jack Door. How you doing? Great chops as always. Just wanted to drop and say hello and support the show for your channel. Thank you. Yeah, sub would be really good. Excellent. Hit the like button. One thing I'll say though, in that Brett Gorsted book though, it doesn't have that particular technique I use where I pick two strings and do a hybrid. So anyway, there was sort of one lick, I suppose, with the ninth in it. But then we come to the arpeggio section. So, like mode-wise, I'm just really working in. I mean, I'm thinking of Aeolian, but this could be Dorian, but there's no Dorian note in it. So all this could work over Aeolian and Dorian. Your hybrid picking, you are doing very good with your technique, much than I can do. I need to brush up on that. It's not the book, all right. Okay. So next improvisational thing. So somebody was mentioning like roots, thirds, fourths, and sevenths, and things like that. So another thing that I like to do. Is start using like various arpeggios. And there's three that are really good that I really like to use. Okay, so in E minor, basically all very similar and share notes. We've got basically E minor, 7. So I'll just show you that. So that's 1, 4, 3, and we've got 1, 3, 2, 1, 4. So these are the fingerings. So 4, 1, 2, 3, pull off to 1, 3, 4, 1. And you can pick it, sweep it, legato it, hybrid it. I would suggest being able to do all of them if you can, because it's just been, like when you're improvising, it's the versatility of it. There's like a lot of different note combinations I can do using a hybrid. You know, stuff like that where I just like skip a string. Oh, and obviously Hammers from Nowhere. So there's all these different ways to play stuff as well. All of them are pretty important. 4 notes. These are like 2 and 1. If I was doing 4 notes, it would be chromatic stuff. Very occasionally I'll do that. And then, so the cool thing about this E minor arpeggio it's pretty much all of the notes of the pentatonic scale. Because we're just missing the 4th. And we've got the 7th, so we're only missing the 4th. Now, what we can do is we can upgrade this as well, and we can include in the 9th, which is a... So it almost gives us, it's an arpeggio, but we can treat it like a scale. And then you can go one further than that. So yeah, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. And then the last sort of upgrade, and I'll run through all 3 of them, is we can add in the 11. Which we can pop there. And it'll slide into pentatonic stuff really, really nicely. No, you're going to say something, Enzo. What was it? So there's like lots of like cool little licks you can do with that as well. Oops. So one of them I like to do. That's pretty cool. So just coming down 5s. Oops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you just start it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Oh, 6, yes. Yeah, there'll be the 13s there as well, isn't it? So you're covering all the extensions. But the cool thing is it seamlessly will kind of fit in with the pentatonic scale. So I think like one issues I've had in the past is trying to get the arpeggios to seamlessly fit in with the pentatonic scale. But when I look at it, you know, it's just basically all of the notes of the pentatonic are there, bar that 11, and then we can add that in. And then we can extend that. So like the next position of this really is like the G major 7. G major 7. So that's 1, 4, 2. And then we've got first finger on the 11, hammering on to the 14, second finger, first finger, and then hammer on with the 4th and the 14th. And again, with the way I'm, sometimes I'll pick this, sometimes I'll just do hammers on from nowhere. It just depends, really, how I want the attack of the note, really. But when I do come down these arpeggios, if I'm picking it, it's a really, I'm really light with that pick. And then basically with this arpeggio, we can just extend that as well. So we've got a 9th in there. And we've got a 13. So we've got this whole kind of like interesting network building up of these arpeggios. We can slide down to the note below. Let's have a look. Do you find it better positions half a step when you play an arpeggio? Because I tend to use my second or third finger without starting shifting. Right, hold on. Do you find it better starting positions half step when playing the arpeggio? Because I think the thing is with me is I want to be as versatile as I possibly can, so I'll just start on, I like to think I can start on any finger. However, when it gets complicated, when I start doing enclosures. Because then you might end up, I can't think of an example at the minute, then you end up, the stuff I was working on a while ago, and I was ending up on different fingers, and it was really difficult to get into certain patterns. It gets worse, embarrassing, and I said I would start proofreading last night. Yeah, no, it's good that you're on here though, Enzo, so I wouldn't worry about the typos. Yeah, so again, continuing on, we've got this lovely arpeggio thing here, which we're going to add in with our pentatonics. And it's great to add chromatic notes in as well. And then finally, okay, we're in the Aeolian mode. We've got our B minor. B minor 7. Now, I don't really extend this with the when I'm in Aeolian because we get the avoid note C, which usually sounds a bit rubbish. So there, we've got like 3 sort of arpeggios that all fit together really nice. No, right, sorry, I've got that post. Right, everybody following along? Have I lost loads of people? Just knocking these licks out. But they're great to improvise on. Tell you what, I wonder if my live loop is working today. Oops. Interesting. It's working. So we'll just go through some of the things, I think. So first up, that first E minor 11/9, sorry, that first 11 arpeggio. Yeah. It's to throw the odd note in that does not fit, so my ear misses the right note. Interesting. Anyway, coffee break, I think. Oops. All right. Any thoughts? On like play F. What's that? Play F major 7, then go to the 4th. Not 100% sure what's. Yeah, I mean they're both. Tom Quayle and Jack are both excellent educators, without a doubt. Right. What day is it today? Thursday, isn't it? So, like, one of the things that I thought was really cool with the Tom Quayle thing. Do you mean like because you mentioned F, we're in E, coffee break? Yeah. Are you mentioning sidestepping there, by any chance? Yeah, coffee break, Josh. Ish. I've got to end a little bit earlier on the stream today, in 15. Because there's a couple of things I need to organise before I go for my park walk, and I need that extra 15 minutes. So I really like these shapes, and these are like Tom Quayle type things. Oh, you mean right? Okay, sidestepping. Yeah, so. Yeah, I love sidestepping. It's lots of fun when I'm into it. So what was I talking about? Yeah, Tom Quayle shapes. I really like these. Like really hard to play. Like something like that. These are all like E minor pentatonic things. Like something like that's really tricky. So this is like what I was talking about earlier with the fingerings. I think that's probably the worst case scenario, this one, where we're going on the 5th fret. Quite tricky to play, but they do sound quite good when you get them going. It's like really hard to do the sidestepping thing. Like when there's a chord progression, it's great. Like when it's just a static groove, it works really good, but it's quite like, yeah, I find it really hard to do on the chords. He tunes to fourths, yeah. It would still be really awkward though. You still have like a crossing like that. I think I'm getting your hybrid picking technique better. What book did you get that from, or is it just? It's right. Yeah. So I got this from. I noticed Tom Quayle doing it, and then I noticed Tim Miller doing it, and then Tim Miller explained it. But it was in context of doing, these arpeggios. So. He was doing those. So there's another cool, handy little arpeggio. So just stacking minor thirds, and all I'm doing is picking, hammer, pick, hybrid. But actually, the exact way he does it, he'll do an upstroke on the way down. So pick, pick, hammer, pick, hybrid, up. And that's yeah, a really cool thing. It's hard getting your fingers in on some of these. So so that's where I got that from. I think it was there was Tim Miller, definitely Tim Miller. But what's really weird is because the way it works, you're thinking of two, like this hand's thinking in two strings. It's thinking like these minor and major triads. But this hand's thinking when we're starting it off, it's thinking about three strings. So you got like, so it kind of conflicts with my brain a bit when I first started doing this, but now it's second nature. So that's the first bit you need to sort of get under your fingers. Yeah, it's just one of those really elusive things you see players doing, and you're trying to figure out what it is. And then eventually, I got the right information, which was brilliant. Another one that's been bugging me for ages is that whole that. Again, it's like a weird technique because there's a hammer from nowhere. So I start off with a hybrid, hammer, hybrid, and then it repeats. But this time we do a pick. It sounds great when you get it going. Oops. So it's like something you'll see tons of players, like fusion type players doing. I've seen Nick Johnson do it, Greg Howe, probably the first person. I've heard it on Chon stuff. I've heard it. Where else have I heard it? Oh, Rick Graham. But I was never 100% clear on the full technique of that. Because the other weird thing about it is you're not kind of strictly going down the scale that way. You're going like literally vertically. So going this way. So there's that weird stretch there. But it's really handy. It's a handy little thing to put in there. Your technique is what's making that sound so sweet. I won't feel comfortable in my skin until I get this hybrid picking down right. Yeah. It took a while for me, honestly. Like, economy, I found it harder than learning economy picking. And it's because, like, it also got... I started doing it, getting quite confident at it, and then I started using it a little bit on live streams and then messing up. And then I felt really, like, wary about doing it in public. That's the hybrid picking, by the way. So there was a bit of a confidence knock as well. So it took definitely there was 2 attempts. I started it, forgot about it, and then came back to it. And I remember that period between the 2 things. I was thinking, oh, maybe I could just go through life not doing hybrid picking and going about saying I am an economy picker, alternate picking person, and I don't do hybrid. I thought maybe that I could pigeonhole myself, and then I thought that's ridiculous. Don't do that. Just actually learn it. So I did in the end. And as I said, the breakthrough was the Brett Garsted book was brilliant because that covered all situations where you're like picking against the hybrid fingers and, you know, stuff like that. That was really handy. So I always recommend that book. But yeah, things like this are really good. Just that exercise alone, that little lick thing. But it's just getting that. It's just getting the timing. That's the tricky thing about it. Timing that hammer for nowhere and the hybrid. Saw Nick Johnson doing that. That's quite a good little lick, isn't it, when you get it going? I'm starting to practice now. I'll be boring everybody to death. We've still got 8 people here, though. So yeah, you can put it to good use. So that's sort of in fact, that's my micro practice today. So technically, and so that's the Dorian position in A minor. So instead of normally, you'd probably take a sequence that way. You don't. You just keep going across the strings. Whoops. It's tricky. It's funny because I'm very good at thumping bass technique, but yeah, I can't do that at all. Oh dear. Right. I found years ago the route skipping like you're doing really helps. Note skipping like you're doing, yeah. Yeah, I'm all about missing notes out. Yeah, very difficult, isn't it, doing that? It's not quite there. Right, so quick coffee. So how was today's session? I thought I'd just, not plan it too much and freewheel. Probably a bit random. But I do. Not there. So just before I go, are there any particular things anybody, because I know like this week we had a big sidestepping thing, and I didn't get onto that too much, but I have, I've been analysing a Jack Gardner solo that has sidestepping in it, so there's a few things I'm going to pull out of that, so there'll be some more sidestepping coming up, probably after the weekend. But is there anything in particular anybody wants to know or wants help with on guitar? Because it might give me a bit of inspiration as well. I mean, there's plenty I can do. But I'm really pushing myself doing a live every day and like doing something with guitar is good, So any thoughts? What do you think would be good, Enzo? There's a little bit more coffee in here. There we go. Oh, that was one thing I was wanting to do. Just while you're having a think. Just want to see if this live loop is working. Right. Right, that bit's working. Excellent. Working nicely. All right, so plugins we can do tomorrow, because I had a few. This live looper's now working, and I have basically I use like Ableton, and the whole Ableton project's like one massive elaborate live looper. But inside that, I have another live looping device just for the guitar presets that I'm using now, which are all nunchuck. So that's all nunchuck there. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to go do my stuff now, and maybe we can do some live looping tomorrow. In fact, that sounds like a pretty good idea, doesn't it? Cool, I'm just catching up on what you said there. Chord solos will be good. Predetermined melody. And this is a lot of improv, yeah. Chord solos. Chord solos will be good. Nice amp. I've been listening to Sidestepping Artist all day. I can't believe how good the new artist like Jack on and Yeah, I think they're excellent. All right, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye.